Okay, this kind of clickbaity mind fuck. I, kind of, in a way. Hold on, I just gotta sound check. Make sure everything's going good. Cause this is ready. I just need to, well, need to bring myself in. Yeah. Hold on. But I'm here. What's up? I can. Walk. Walks. Gotta walk. Oh, I'm just. There I am. I'm live. Okay. Okay, this is from a channel called Dr. Blitz. Or Blix? I think it's Blitz, I don't know. Let's watch it. You can see me clearly. Okay. Let's see how low I can do it without you losing me completely. Okay. I'm kind of gone here. I can go a little higher. Or I can get a little closer when I react. Yeah, that's a good idea.
The belief in God just
Wait.
within your own self.
Uh-oh. Sorry. Sorry about that.
You can still love him and not agree with that.
But why do you have to
Love
love him
isn't love.
if he's a Nazi?
If you love him, you would try to lead him in a better direction. You would try to have conversations with him. You would try to not just if you just close him out and
At that point, I would try to kill him. Let me do this close. Turn this all the way up and I can kill. I would kill him if he got to that point. If he was a Nazi, I would be trying to kill him. Okay. An idiot.
let him do his own thing. That's not helpful.
I mean,
That's not love.
like 80
That's
years ago, we didn't just close them out and let them do their own thing. We actually went to war with them and then like killed a bunch of them, right? Jaxie, welcome.
What's up, Blitz?
Not a whole lot. Jaxie, do you believe in a god?
I do. I think
Okay.
it's no question there's a God.
Okay, yeah. So look, I don't. I'm an atheist,
Okay.
right? So like, what would you say is like the most convincing thing that you could offer me that might bring me over to your side? Because if it's true, I want to know.
So most of my beliefs are from my subjective experience, but I think you can come to
That is respectable, by the way. That's good. I respect him for saying that.
the belief in God just within your own self. I think if you look in this world around us, you see a lot of evil, you see a lot of problems, you see a lot of imperfection.
Yep.
And when you get away from that and you go far inside yourself, you get out of the material and you come to God.
She's talking about introspection for some reason. That's 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 the only thing I can think of. He's going talking about introspection, just investigating yourself.
I'm a little confused. Why should I think that there's a God? Because when I step away from the external world, I don't follow. I don't follow how this works.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I'll try to get you there. I listened to a bit of the last caller.
Oh, that was a shit show. Sorry about that.
I was popping it out. But what do you believe? Are you atheist or are you
Yeah, I'm an
not?
atheist.
Right, but you were like, oh, I'm kind of this, I'm kind of that.
Oh, well, so atheism is not the same thing as materialism or Platonism or physicalism. Those are all like additional like views about ontology, which are like unrelated to atheism.
Make up your worldview.
Right.
Okay,
Atheism is just atheism is just a commitment to the proposition that there is no God. I just don't think that that's I just don't think that it's true that there is a God.
It's an aspect of your worldview.
You are confident that there is definitely not a God.
Well, I mean, like, I'm as confident in that as I am that, like, I don't know, that gravity's real, I guess.
Me too.
Like, I'm pretty confident. Well, like, I don't know. We could, like, try to figure out exactly how confident I am. Maybe less confident that gravity is real, more confident than, like, I don't know, that a sports team will win the next sports ball thing. Like,
So it's
like
a guess?
you know,
Like,
I have some degree of certainty. Maybe call it like 95%. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Because I think objectively, we would probably agree that you can't know one way or the other. Like, I can believe
It just depends
in a
on
God,
it just
maybe
depends on
that's
on what you mean. No, I don't think that one can be like 100% have 100% certainty of basically anything, but I think that we can still have knowledge about things even if you're not 100% certain about them. So like my view is that like I know that there is no God in the same way that like I know that my wife loves me. Not in the same way, but perhaps to the same degree. Like she could be like tricking me for the last 14 years, right? But that would be like seems really unlikely.
Yeah, probably not.
And so do you think that this world came together by chance?
I don't think that that's the alternative.
Well, what's
like you could
what
be a
is
determinist.
your-
You could be a determinist, right? And you could hold the view that like there's no other way the world could have been.
but what would that belief lead you to?
Just lead you
Like,
to
what
a
in this
belief
reality
about.
makes you believe?
Well, I mean, the laws of physics are pretty good at predicting what happens in the future based off of what happened in the past.
I've never
Okay.
failed. Never failed.
When I experience the world around me, there is a clear artistry to it. It's not randomly thrown together. There's patterns. There's
Artistry patterns. He's getting to a point, but he started off weird, but I think he is figuring something out. Hold on.
decisions. There's harmony in many things around us.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't see it. I see the
don't see that
patterns. I see the
trunk
patterns,
of a tree
absolutely.
becomes branches, and the branches become the same ratio of leaves, and inside of the leaves is the same ratio.
I see the patterns. I just don't see how that means that there is like intention or like a mind behind it.
Okay, Fibonacci.
But it's perfect.
Spiral. I think
You think it's perfect?
it's a geometrical shape. Fibonacci spiral. Yeah, it's a geometric shape that's like supposed to be perfect. I think. I don't know. Fuck. Perfect doesn't even exist in my opinion. You can't prove to me that There's something called perfect. Just can't do it.
I don't know if I would say it's perfect.
I guess as perfect as material can get. That's part of
I could think of a
problem in
lot
this
of ways
world.
that it could be better.
Such
Yeah,
as?
me too.
Like, imagine a world where the only way that a human penis would get erect is if the other party was consented and like emitted specific consent pheromones.
Why is that better?
That would be better. Yeah.
Then rape wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't happen at all.
That's kind of silly.
It's silly to think that if rape didn't happen, the world would be better.
Wow.
No, that's not what I said. I said if my dick could only get erect if someone else was in the room, how's that better?
Emitting certain pheromones? Why would that be silly?
Well,
That's how stuff happens in nature.
okay. Do we have another example that's less juvenile?
Juvenile. Look, I'm not a fan of rape. I don't know about you.
Oh, that is not juvenile. That happens in the animal kingdom all the fucking time. You don't know about that? It's smell is fucking paramount, and especially insects. The pheromone bees, flying insects. Look it up, dude. It's fuck, dude. This guy's an idiot.
Okay, I don't want to. This is
Like,
a dead end.
okay. Here, I'll give you another example. How about, our, what's another example of, how about we have as many, cancer regulating genes as elephants do so that people don't get cancer until they're very, very old?
So why do bad things happen? Why do we get cancer? Why do
I'm not
our friends
asking that question. I'm just offering a way that it could have been better.
Okay. So my belief, in line with God, is that the
Oh, not buffering? Okay, hold on. Hold on. That's damn. Oh, dude.
physical stuff, the material world, is an imperfect substance. Like you can try to make the.
I thought you said it
perfect
was perfect.
sandcastle. It is for material. It's perfect.
But I just offered a way it could be better.
For a sandcastle, you could polish the sand. You could do everything.
Didn't I
and
just
it's still
offer a
gonna
way that it could be
fall a
better,
little bit.
though?
It's gonna crumble a little bit.
He did.
That's subjectively better, you know?
So you
No, it would be in the example of sex, you need consent. What I would say is yes, that would be perfect. Absolutely perfect. If the only way that a male penis gets hard is if the female consents to it. And yes, that would be perfect for relationships. It would stop rape. Definitely.
do you think that, like, when you say subjectively better, what do you mean?
I think God created chaos on purpose.
Oh, so God is a god of chaos?
Not necessarily God is the god of chaos, but chaos is a necessary part of our existence. If we
Including
didn't have
cancer.
chaos, yeah, If we didn't have chaos, our life would be very boring.
I think that our lives wouldn't be boring if we didn't have cancer. Just
If
saying.
bad things didn't happen, our life wouldn't be much of a story.
I don't think that not having cancer would make our stories worse.
I'm nervous to like go into like scripture of the Bible because I think that'll just hit us into a dead end. Is it cool if I read a small paragraph from Tolkien from The Hobbit?
Sure.
Okay, let me find it real quick.
Oh my god. A poetry reading. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is officially a poetry reading. Man, so tickets. What the fuck? Idiot.
Okay, so this is from Bilbo and the dwarves and Gandalf. They get to Rivendell,
Sure.
and they meet Elrond, and they get to the house.
Uh-huh.
And Tolkien says, "Now it is a strange thing, but things that are good to have and days that are good to spend are soon told about, and not much to listen to. While things that are uncomfortable, palpitating, or even gruesome, they make a good tale and take a deal of telling anyway."
Okay, I know it's fucking thing. You know, it's not a story if bad stuff doesn't happen. No, that's not necessarily true. You don't need bad stuff to happen for it to be a good narrative. It's not the way that's not the way it works. Trust me, it's not. Not at all.
And if we had a creator and our lives were perfect, we were put here for a reason, and nothing went wrong. There was no trials. There was nothing.
I didn't say that there are no trials. I just said that
to overcome.
we get cancer. I'm just saying that like kids don't get cancer, right? That doesn't seem like much of an ask. You can still have trials even if kids don't get cancer.
You can still get sick.
It's part of the chaos.
It doesn't have to be though.
Chaos isn't necessarily
Does
bad.
it have to be part of the chaos?
You can have a chaotically incredible thing happen.
Wait, hold on. Let's not get off the cancer. Is the cancer a necessary part of the chaos?
We could say it's necessary. We could say it's not necessary.
Which one would you say?
We can come to that conclusion. I think that it is.
Well, we can analyze both options, right?
Sure. My mother had cancer when I
Sorry to
was
hear that.
8 months old.
My father had cancer when I was, my whole life up until I was 11. Then he stopped having cancer.
That's rough. I didn't have to go through that because I was very young, but she luckily came through it, and others aren't so lucky. But
I'm glad that your mother came through it.
Thank you. How's your father?
Oh no, he stopped having cancer because he died.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. It was 20 years ago. But my point is like
it's not okay. Like,
well, I mean, you deal with these things and you live with them, right? My point is that like there is a way that the world could have been, and we even see it in the animal kingdom, right? Elephants have a certain number of copies of a gene, and that gene is protective against cancer. Basically, it's basically a cancer protecting gene. I think they have 7 of them, and so elephants like basically never get cancer. They usually die of other things. Humans, on the other hand, only have 2 copies of that gene. So while we get cancer less than like mice do, we do get cancer way more often than elephants do. So my point is God could have given us the seven anti-cancer genes, and if that were the case, then we wouldn't, like, at least not until old age, we wouldn't have kids getting brain tumors.
Sure, he could have.
And that seems like it's just better.
We can nitpick. We can say that, oh, it'd be really
This isn't
cool if my neighbor
nitpicking. The
didn't
question
steal
is
my
whether or not the material
It'd be
world is
cool
the
if-
best it could be.
It would be better.
But that's not the point. That's not the point of the chaos. That's not the point of our stories. The Garden of Eden was perfect, right?
Well,
parable,
I would say no, it wasn't. Because why the fuck would God allow, like, the most evil being ever to just wander into the garden if it was perfect?
Maybe it wasn't Satan. We don't know.
He was the serpent.
He was a serpent. He might not have been Satan.
Okay. So if your view is that it wasn't Satan, why would God let a serpent, who we know was a deceiver, wander into the garden? Seems kind of weird.
It's part of the parable. It's the
But then it's not perfect, right? There was a deceptive snake hanging out in there.
What the moral of the Garden of Eden is, it's not to disobey, it's to seek knowledge. And if you seek the truth in this world and you try to find reason for everything around you,
truly happen.
it does not give you happiness. It doesn't give you fulfillment. It doesn't create, if you find the truth in this world, it's not going to make
Wait
the
a
rest
minute.
of your
Are
life,
you saying
I
that
know where it's going.
Are you saying that the message for the Garden of Eden story is that you shouldn't seek knowledge?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate to do this, but y'all, if anybody here is listening and is considering Christianity and takes, like, a scientific view of the world, like, this is what you have to look forward to.
No, it's not. This is my own perception of it. I'm not speaking on behalf of all Christians.
Well, do you think that the Garden of Eden do you think that your interpretation of the Garden of Eden is incorrect? Is an incorrect interpretation?
My interpretation of that parable is that, and it's based off of my own reality, which is the further I try to go in, the further I go down the rabbit hole of what's this world around me? What's this existence? What's real? Like, what do I need to believe in? Why I need to be correct? And all it leads to is anxiety. All it leads to is me lying awake, scared of dying. And that's not helpful.
Tell me about it. I mean, look, I get it. But my point is that it sounds like you're saying that this is how it should be interpreted, right?
No, that's my interpretation of it.
How do you think the authors intended it to be read? How do you think the authors intended it to be read?
The author could have written it with a different interpretation in mind, and I still think that mine isn't wrong.
So, in your view, it's a parable? Do you think it actually happened?
No.
So, and you're a Christian, right?
Yeah. Read Psalm 78.
Then where did original sin come from?
Give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. It's a book of parables.
Where did original sin come from then?
I haven't found that yet.
Okay, that's fair.
I could guess.
No, I appreciate the honesty. I mean, like, if you want to speculate, you can, but I appreciate the honesty there.
But it's been my reality in the past year that when I try to build a relationship with God, something inside myself, I'm not God, but there's a connection. If you close your eyes, you get rid of outside of yourself, and you go inside, there's something there you can build a relationship with. And when you spend time with that thing, you find peace.
That thing is yourself. Okay, it's gonna get close to woo woo, but it's not quite. That meditation is a thing. And it's a thing you can do to enhance the way you feel. You can. It's a weird. I don't know how to explain it. The real meditators, not the ones that hear angels and shit. Oh, that's fucking. Oh my god. I need to find a video like that one time. That's funny. Oh my god.
And the bad things can roll off, and we can get through it together, and you take a walk with them.
I mean, look, who am I to say that you can't find peace in these beliefs? I'm not here to tell you that you shouldn't believe. But and look, like maybe the situation that you're in it's just like this is the best way for you to be. But I don't take the view that seeking knowledge is bad. I don't take the view that seeking knowledge will lead to anxiety and misery. I take the view that figuring out what's true about the world is intrinsically valuable, that it has value just for its own sake. And so if God exists, I want to know it. It doesn't seem like God exists, though, from all of the people I've spoken with, from all of the reading I've done. And so I don't know, man. It just seems like that the way that we can come to figure out what's true about the world is just not through this book.
It might not be for you. I mean, it's a book of parables. I mean, there's some history in the book, right? There's some historical facts there, but if you don't think that Noah's Ark happens, we're told to believe that, oh shit, now I can't believe any word in the Bible. Like, that's insane. Like, there's deep knowledge and wisdom in this book that you don't have to believe that the ocean was split in two. You can. It's a beautiful story.
It's a great story.
If
have you seen Prince of Egypt?
The miracles. Okay, yeah.
I know. I mean, honestly, like it's just a great story.
Yeah. Also, the Ten Commandments. That was a cool movie.
Yeah.
But you don't have to believe in all the miracles to believe that there's a creator.
So, I guess my question is: do you take this stance towards other religious texts?
For the most part, I think that if you find a religion that gets you through this life, that's probably okay. I still think you should believe in your creator. I think
But like, I guess what I'm getting at is, if you take the view that there's valuable stories in the Christian Bible, including like the Old and New Testament, right? That there's valuable stories there, and they will help you get through this life. It seems like, and I don't know how much you've read. Have you read like any of the Hindu scriptures? Like, it's hard to call them scriptures, but like, have you read like the Bhagavad Gita or the Upanishads?
No, I read through the Lotus Sutra a bit. I read.
But okay, so you've done a little bit of reading. I guess my point is like, when you read these things, there's wisdom, there's good stories in a lot of these ancient pieces of literature. And so, I guess my point is why call yourself a Christian if you can find value probably in all of these?
I do call myself that, but in this conversation, I don't think I've called myself a Christian.
I think you did. Didn't you at the beginning?
Maybe I could have.
No, but I mean, like why pick and choose one particular scripture when you can find value in all of them?
I was raised a Christian. I was born into a Christian
Okay,
family.
honestly,
I
that's a
was
good
a
reason.
teenager. I thought I was, cool as shit and trying to figure this thing out, and then I stopped believing in it. And
Sure.
I looking into pagan shit and looking into,
Hmm.
what's this world around us. The more you learn, you're like, oh, I don't actually know anything, and I have anxiety, and now this fucking sucks. And
Sure.
when you come back to it and you say, oh, God loves me, this is
You
awesome.
figure out that
Look,
no,
Like it's such a
we don't need a God to love us. All the stories of death and destruction and the entire planet being flooded and
better way to get through this life if you believe in the love of your creator.
you may very well be right that that is a way to be less miserable, or that is a way to have more joy in your life. You might be right. I just can't bring myself to believe in something that I don't think is true. You know, and you know that's
that is possible, but yes. I believe with it all I can call.
like I'm generally I'm of the opinion that you don't really choose your beliefs. You kind of like have beliefs and they form based off of the things that you think about and the things that you know and the environment that you grew up in and all of that lovely stuff. So like it's just unless somebody can give me a good reason to believe in it, it would be hard for me to just decide to believe, you know. And when I say a good reason, I mean like some sort of justification, some sort of evidence or something like that. I can understand though that if it's something that you grew up with and something that brings you comfort, I can understand why you would believe in it. I'm not. I think that that's totally reasonable, actually.
Right now, I believe that it's a book of incredible parables that have. It's not wrong if you live by Jesus's 2 commandments to love God and love your neighbor. It's perfect. Like, how could that be wrong to teach your kids that?
What if your neighbor's a Nazi?
Okay, that's.
You can still love him and not
He's not calling him out.
agree with that.
But why do you have to love him if he's a Nazi?
But still. I would still want to kill him. I would still want to put a fork in his eye. I'd still kill him. I don't kill. I watched most of it, and you can watch it if you want to, but I'm done.